So hello everyone, Myrmonden here, welcome to my review, and I'm like a first impression, long impression of Grancrest Senki episode 1 to 5, right? So I watched all 5 episodes just this morning here on Sunday morning, and I found it pretty entertaining. It wasn't the best anime I watched in my life, but I found it a pretty good anime. And that being said though, this anime, should you watch it or not, I think one thing why I would recommend it is if you like tactical role-playing games. I mean, if you watch my live reactions, I mention it all the time. I refer it to like, oh, this girl, she's like Fang in FF13. I know it's not a tactical game, but the general like Theo, there's like Fire Emblem main character. The general premise is like Texas Ogre or Ogre Battle or like Shining Force. It's a lot of that, right? It's like do this thing, and so anyway, come to that later. But generally, I would say that's my first impression out of the way that, man, if you like tactical role-playing games, the chance of liking the anime is definitely higher. And I'm a huge fan actually of tactical role-playing games though. So I definitely see the similarities all the time though. Maybe a little too much in my opinion. It's almost like she's gonna yawn because yeah, it's a little too much in my opinion. But anyway, so the thing, I kind of like the whole girl, Silka. It's a pretty interesting character, right? The whole premise is a little silly though. She's like, I don't want to be that pervs mage, so I'm just gonna join this new kid here. And to the main character then, Theo, arguably he's the main character or she's the main character, but the main character has a very, very classic role-playing system, right? And I mean more a tactical role-playing game, not a normal Japanese role-playing games, because we have 2 different countries they're fighting, the Alliance and the Federation, right? They're fighting all the time. They had the United, they almost had a union there with Lady and the Prince there, right? But the father got killed by the demon, the summon and all that, right? So there are fightings, there are other continents as well, but this is the main continent. And there's a very, very classic take on, it's pretty much exactly the same story in Ogre Battle, like the premise of it. Like you join there, you get to Zenobia, the main character, and it's like, oh, you're a new guy, so you don't have actually any alliance to either the evil empire or these good rebels, or who are we gonna join? You talk to a bit, oh, the rebels are pretty good, let's join them, yeah, like the typical thing there, right? Or it's a very, like Suikoden 2, I forget, also they are amazing, but like Suikoden 2, you join, first you are in the Highlander army, they betray you, so you kind of go to the other guys down there, but you don't really join with them either, they kind of join with them, but eventually you make your own country, right? So you're an independent country, and then you get the other guys to join you, and then you fight the Highlander, so you get your own country, and you can... It's like, I've seen this story before a lot in these games, and it's very, very classic in the tactical Japanese role-playing games. And this anime is based on visual novels, right, and on like some kind of tabletop role-playing game. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But there's a lot of those elements into it, absolutely. And the whole premise of the kind of storyline, though, does, however, in a good and a bad way, definitely in my opinion, has that feel to it. Like last episode 5, we see that, oh, there's some trouble down with the vampires and werewolves. Let's go there. Okay, the werewolf siblings or the twins, they are kidnapped. Let's go and save them and their mom. Okay, we couldn't save the mom, but the twins are gonna like us now, so they're gonna join us. You know, like it's very, very classic of those type of games, right? Where you go to a place, you help them, you save someone's family member, or you defeat the evil dragon, and then you get someone to join you, right? And that might sound like an any roleplay game, like, oh, but you get more party members. No, not really. So okay, so it role-playing games generally, like Final Fantasy and so on, right? Yeah, you do something, you maybe get someone to join you and so on, but in those kind of games, you only have like 6 to maybe 12 or so characters, right? Maybe it can be 8, maybe it's 10, depends on the game. But they're kind of like 4 to 12. I think 6 to 12 is a good number. But 5 is not 6, and so on, yeah. So around 8 or so is kind of the classic average value. And that means that you save maybe like 20 cities, say that's right. But you don't get 20 people with you because you don't only have 8 playable characters. You get 8 people. Then you might get some friends over there to help you with some mini game or something, but you don't get all those people, right? So in a typical JRPG game, you do all these adventures, so as all the role-playing games from the West as well, and it might amount to a character. But when you play the tactical role-playing games, or like Suikoden, we have 108 characters, you get people all the time, basically. Yeah, you go to that village, and it's like, oh, I saved them from the evil wolf. Oh, I get 4 characters. Yeah, it's like, you get a lot of people with you, right? If you play Suikoden, it's like, you go to a new city, and you can recruit like 10 people there. Right? It's like, oh, this gambler guy can be, this athlete fast runner, oh, this guy over there, or that living golem can join me. It's like a lot of stuff that can join you, right? Because you have like an army of heroes. you have a huge, parlay of heroes, right? So they have the going for you. Plus, you have the normal soldiers. If you conquer an island or whatever, you get those armies joining you. So you have like the no-name people, and you have the usually you differ between name and no name. That's what I call it in my rich list. The name and no name. Yeah. So the name characters are like you have a knight character, and his name is like Galad. Or Galad is really strong, right? Because he's like a knight class character, but he's like twice so much health points, has 2 new abilities, so on. So it's like a named knight. And then you have like 10 knights that are using knights, they can die, doesn't really matter for you. So it's the same in like Fire Emblem, so right? You get like a new character pretty much every stage in Fire Emblem, yeah. So this game definitely had to go, and so this anime, this anime is definitely going with the tactical, role-playing strategy, right? Or the kind of, I guess, how they get in people, right? So you join something, you go over there, save the favorite mommy, her kids will join you, yeah. Go over there, like episode 4, it's like, they generally get, I guess, the Lord Wheeler to not join them, but kind of, I guess kind of fuse with his army in a way, right? Before that, of course, we get Isaac, we got Moreno, so what's the voice, right? As well, yeah. So we get those people joining you. There's a lot of that, and that to me it is very much because it's based on those games where they have like hundreds of people could join your army, so you can just get a new character every episode, right? Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, you get a new person every episode. But that being said, I think it's very important we talk about anime, because for me at least, it's very clear the structure of the anime is a lot about that, right? So it's about getting more and more characters to join your army. It's about getting more and more units. So basically, you take over a land, you get like those guys with you, right, the random soldiers. And it's also about the general, like, oh, if we attack these guys, we can conquer their land. Then we get that island, and then we get that waterfall. That's a good resource thing. We attack those guys, and then we can ally with those guys. A lot of this kind of strategy, right? You go around, and in many of those games, you either have a line, they were pretty linear, but you also can have like, okay, you can decide who you want to attack and so on. It's pretty standard. And like I said, Ogre, a great game. You have picked different sides, depending if you're evil or not, or like not evil, but more like if you're neutral or lawful or chaotic, and it gives you different storylines and different kind of battles and so on, right? And you conquer different lands. But eventually you conquer the whole continent in general. So it's a lot like that. So it's good, but generally watching this anime is like watching a TRPG by far it is. Even the science like Theo, it's like Fire Emblem main character straight off, right? So stuff like that. But anyway, let's talk about the general characters then. So I think they're pretty funny. I definitely like Ashley Coulter, one of my Fang, as I mentioned. Very, very Fang. It's very cool, crazy fighting character. Probably my favorite scene, when she kind of harasses the Pete's name, the smart guy that never got much screen time afterward, but that was a good scene. I definitely like Silka. It's a great female main character. She's an interesting character, good personality, pretty cool. Yeah, everything with her is good. Theo, I don't dislike Theo, but as I mentioned, the whole gaming reference thing, Theo on the hand though, not a bad character, but he's the most cliche main character ever, right? He's like a very classic thing. Somebody is only more of as well, but he comes from another island. He's not actually, aligned to either side, and he's not really have any like. He doesn't have like the knowledge about the different places, and he's just basically is the main character for the player, right? So if you play those games, you're playing this new guy, and they have to tell you, oh, over there's the enemy, okay, like, and he's the same thing. He's us, right? He's the viewer. He gets there, doesn't know anyone, and she's like, well, if you fight this guy, we can get this thing. Oh, that's good. Like, so, he's kind of the tabula rasa kind of character. He's just kind of there. He's a good guy. He wants to save people. His personality is just, he's a good guy, right? So, I think he's definitely is the weakest thing of the anime, honestly, in my opinion. Not saying that he's bad, but I'm saying that he's just a very, very basic, role-playing game hero, right? There's a good guy that will protect the girl, protect the villagers, and do the right thing, and doesn't know anything about the world he's in, right? So, in that sense, right? He has good ideologies, yeah, very much like that. So, not a bad character per se, but it's like that character. You could replace him with the main character from like, I don't know, Ogre Battle. It would be the same character, right? Or like whatever. Replace him from Ogre, the kid Ogre, yeah. Or not really Ramsa, but no, that's the thing. Like in FFT, they had a character they had Ramsat. He had more personality, yeah. Theo is kind of, as I mentioned, the basic personality. He hasn't done anything either side yet. Well, he did pick her over her territory, but that is probably what also most of these guys would have done, because they protected the Nakama is more important than power, right? So it's pretty much what you expect them to do. So I don't know. I'm just saying that he's not very innovative, right? You know, I don't dislike his character, not at all actually, but I'm just mentioning that his character itself is just like, it's like all of those games, right? It's like all those role-playing games, they have the same main character, right? The classic Super Nintendo games, yeah. So that is what it is, I guess. But also in a way though, it works with anime because that means that he has to ask, oh, what's this thing? And then have to explain to him, oh, an artist, this thing, oh, okay, I get it. So they have to explain, you know, like the anime world to him, right? So we get the anime world thanks to him. So it makes sense in that argument that they haven't met that. So, you know, it's kind of like that. The other characters are much better, I think, generally though. Ashley, obviously, my best character, as mentioned again. The bad guy's pretty good. I like the princess kind of lady more, interesting character. I guess she would probably turn more evil eventually. It's clear that her mates, the father of Sergei, is the main evil guy. I think that to me is very obvious. He probably was the one killed her father and so on, right? So she probably will betray. He will betray her, I guess, in the end. But yeah, like something like that, because he looks to be really, really evil. He's like, kill Theo. Yeah, he's seems to be quite the main evil guy. Him or the vampire. So we saw the Vampire King, Dimitri. That was really weird. I did not like that. I mean, yeah, I did not. That actually, to me, in all the 5 episodes, that made the least sense. Episode 5 here, where he is like, "Oh, we are killing my former ally, which I used to betray, the werewolf queen, and I'm gonna let you in here so you can like save her and also hurt, maybe kill my closest alliance here, which is a witch that's like real loyal to me." Like that made no. How did he gain anything from getting both the werewolf killed and his witch maybe killed? Like, it was like, what? I don't get it. It was so weird. Like, his planning seems to be completely off, and he left his cast head, which they conquered too. Like, why did he do that? He just let them in there and left his cast. What is his plan? His plan better explained, hopefully, in the end, with the anime. Yeah, his plan hopefully will be explained, but I can't see why he would get anything from letting them save the siblings or so on. Like, what was the gain of that? If the castle and so on did manage it, that's one thing, but how did he have to invite them, right? He could have been like, oh, let's kill the queen and the princess or whatever, and if they come here, we just escape. The castle has no value anymore. But why would why would he invite them so they will lose faster, right? Like it made literally, in my opinion, no sense whatsoever. That thing was gonna change to there we go. That made no sense to me. So yeah, not a big fan of that at all. Actually, in my opinion, it's really weird. And I can't see how you would argue that it makes sense, right? Because some people say, oh, what he did, no. You can say that he did it because the castle didn't mess up. That's true, probably how it would be, but it doesn't help him to get it faster, right? Like, what's the point of him? It's like, here's the speed ticket here. Like, that doesn't help him. He could be like, when they get here, I will use the escape because screw this place. That could make sense. Even though it's kind of weird, but that could make sense. He could just kill them probably, but that's also kind of weird. But why would he help them? So I guess it's a good guy and the witch is evil. Like, it just seems weird. Yeah, I hope to explain it later with him because it seems weird. And also, why couldn't he just kill, right? Why couldn't he just kill the main characters? Classic bad role-playing game villain. He can't kill the main character because of reasons. Like, the empty house is like, I better escape now, even though I am like 10,000 levels higher than you guys. So we can fight you next time when you are my level. Like, just kill them. So that was the worst part of the anime, actually, episode 5. That the whole hymn was like, what is this? Like, it makes no sense so far. Really doesn't. And also the other villains, they were more like, classic, tactical role-playing game enemies. They're like, this guy, he's the king over here, go and defeat him, get his land. Yeah, so they're defending their land, right? They actually aren't necessarily bad people, or just defend. They are, well, I have to say that though in the anime. That to me actually was a little shallow, in my opinion, with this anime. I've seen it much better in other games with similar kind of storyline, where, okay, we attack the neighbor country, but they don't have to be necessarily evil, right? Here, not the first guy, of course, Isaac, they were good guys, but the rest of them were kind of like this douche. The first guy, I guess, to cast from, but the other ones were kind of like douchebag bad guys, right? Isaac was a good guy, and the rest of the time has been like, I am evil. So I think it was a little more of that. I kind of would like if some country would be in between, not like Isaac, where it's kind of like he used surrenders because he's a good guy, but more like I'm neutral guys like, you're taking my country for, like I'm just here, I'm a pretty beloved king, I don't trust you to be the ruler, I'm just gonna surrender because I think you seem to be evil, you know, like I would like that kind of king to arrive, or queen, like a person that's like ruling and not really like, you know, not really caring either ways, but like it's a good person ruling their country, and it's kind of like, can you leave my country alone, please? Like that I think would be a good character to have there. So far, it's like either they're douchebag, complete evil kings that no one likes, or they're nice kings that then automatically surrenders because they're like, yeah, you know, like we are good guys, so we surrender. So something in between there would be good. The world of this anime, I found the world kind of like, one thing that I really dislike, I have to say, is the whole artist thing. So artists are anything, people that have like chaos in their body or something, so they're both like vampires, werewolves, Ashley, I guess like physical Colossus guy, all of them are like related in the kind of weird demonic thing or something. That to me is really needs to be explained. I think that was really, that's the poorest thing in the anime, in my honest opinion here. That she joins Ashley, right, and she's like, he's an artist, and they don't explain what the artist is, and then they say, oh, werewolves are also artists, and I'm like, so they're the same thing? Obviously they're not, but they use the same kind of magic. I guess not, or is it the same magic? Like different kind of demon magic? And that was just weird to me. That was just weird. So I'm guessing they all are like different kind of demon magic or different kind of chaos magic. Yeah, like different kind of chaos magic. But that really should be explained. I also felt that the whole quest with the lore things. What can the lore actually do? So far the lore has done like, I can do a flag, and we saw him like deflecting the witch thing, I guess. That's only it. The message can do all this crazy stuff, but the lords are like fighting with their blades. So I think that also is pretty poor. I would like to see the main characters who have their own magic or like some own empowerment. Like, oh, if you have this quest, you have more physical strength for some reason, right? It seems weird that they haven't really explained what the quest actually do. Like each quest level, how much power do you get, or can you use the power more than just like for power? Can you like heal people? Can you like do something else than just like, you know, empowering your punch? Right? Can you do something more with it? That to me is the weird too. But yeah, that to me is weird. Otherwise, the whole battles are pretty good. Yeah, the battles are actually really good, especially with Ashley with her glaive. Absolutely, they are really good battles. Very bloody battles, but the battles are good, cool animation, good effects and so on. So all of that is actually really good. DP is like throwing in the eyes, and yeah, it's good fighting DP, definitely. So otherwise, the fights are really good, but it feels like those artist things, it's like random power X. Yeah, it's like a weird way to give any character any random power, right? It seems weird to me, but I guess they play the game. They probably have like, oh, this is an artist character, she uses artist magic of this thing. It's like a class probably, and then you have the lord and the mage class. Likely, and yeah, it feels like every order class there's not a lord or a mage or artist, different kind of artist, same core magic, right? I guess, but it seems a bit weird. But anyway, as a fighting though, it works, so it's cool and so on. What most is anime? We have watched more, yeah, probably. I don't think it was the best anime season. I think it's more like in the middle. To be honest, I think the worst anime season, absolutely. It's entertaining. I like it because I like this kind of games, so obviously I see the relation, I like that. But I also kind of miss some other stuff. For example, I would like the main character to be a little more unique, like Rance thing. Like I wish the main character was a little more different than kind of the basic Super Nintendo tactical role-playing game main character. Like she is interesting. Silke is really good. Yeah, she's a great character. He's kind of there, right? He's just kind of like the blank slate of the main character role-playing game. So that is a big one for me. Of course, I want to know about her father though. So I want to watch more and see why he's evil. He's clearly evil. So yeah, a pretty good anime. I think it's probably in the middle somewhere. I probably would rate episode like 7, an 8 or so. Like not a 7, but like 7.5 and 8. The episode 5 actually to me was definitely the downer for me. Honestly, yeah. I actually liked it more after I watched episode 5 because the Vampire King just made no sense. I just hate that. When it's like, if he might be a good guy, I guess, but I hate that when the evil guys are like, oh, you're here in my castle, I am the 2,000-year-old vampire with enormous strength, but I'm leaving now. Like, it made no sense, yeah, and I was like, episode 5 to me definitely was the worst episode, honestly. I think episode 5 was like going down heavily. And episode 4 also, in a sense that they gave up the independence for her, I think they could have said, no, I won't give up her. And it's like, and he, you know, that was weird to me how Valar didn't say, well, you can join her and then she stays with you. So like, he didn't say, he just got to territory. It's just weird. So episode 4's ending felt a little iffy. I mean, I get that he likes her and she's great and everything, it's potentially amazing. I'm not saying that, but the deal was weird in a sense. And he just jumped so quickly to the deal. So I felt that the deal was a little too quickly established. And episode 5 was kind of like meh. On a lot of points though. Well, I did like the whole werewolf girl stuff, the cute mates and so on. And it ends by them conquering the castle of the vampires, so that's strange. But anyway, I hope that's a review or an impression of the first episode 5. And I'll see you guys for next week then on episode 6. I hope that I can watch episode 6 during the time frame.